Call to order, Bedford Township Parks Commission regular meeting, March 24th, 2025. Please stand for the pledge. First, we'll do roll call. Aaron? Here. Josh?
Here.
Matt? Here. Excused is Andrew. He can't be here tonight. And then Kyle is not here as well. Next, we go for approval of the agenda. If there's anything that needs to be...
Can I make one friendly amendment to the agenda? So, I don't know if you got the email, but there's, I think his name is Troy Lusky from the Bedford Select Baseball Group that uses Samaria Park. He wants to, because I actually checked with Krista first beforehand. He wants to use the hall at Samaria Park for team pictures and that. And I said, hey, I'll talk to her about it first and see. And then she said, we as a board would have to approve it on the agenda if he wants to use the hall and not pay the full $350 to rent it just for team pictures at one of their practices. So if we want to add that to the agenda, that's fine.
I can,
and he would
add it to the agenda.
Mention it during
under Samaria.
Yeah.
Just add that to under Samaria just as an update.
But we'd have to approve that as a board though. And then he would have to go in like procedure, the ID, sign the key out, bring it back.
We'll discuss it more after when we get to the Samaria
Okay.
Park then. So we'll add that to there.
Okay.
All right. So we have a motion to approve agenda as it is with the addition of pictures.
Yes.
Support.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Next is the approval of the minutes of the March 10th meeting. Looks like we got these a little bit late, so we can kind of see if there's anything else that needs to be. That looks good to me. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the March 10th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 10th, 2025 regular meeting of the Park Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Next is Secretary's Report.
Anything? Report.
Excellent. Next on the agenda, Treasurer's Report.
Treasurer's Report, not too much, just some standard utility bills from consumers, energy, Stevens Disposal monthly rate for the dumpsters and porta-johns. Got the cell tower payment from Arcadia Infrastructure for the cell tower at Car Park, as well as a sewer bill at Car Park as well.
And I believe I saw the new porta-johns and everything has been updated to be more for the
summer schedule, yeah.
All right.
And so are the dumpsters.
If there's nothing to add, I will entertain a motion to approve the Treasurer's Report.
Motion approve.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Next, presentations. Looks like we don't have any at this point. Next on the agenda is Community Education Park Partners. You're not here today, is it? Or?
I didn't receive an email from Nancy or anybody, so.
Okay. Next is comments from the public. Does anyone from the public would like to speak? Okay. We don't have any today. We'll go into 9, old and new business. First on the agenda is cleaning service bid, the final date. I do have some information that the Friday was the deadline for that, and I was told there was only one bid. So once they get that to us, we can.
I thought it needed 3 weeks. Or like more than
bids.
Weeks.
Well, yeah, we need to get. Are we trying to extend the deadline to try and get more bids, or?
No, I thought it needed like more than 3 weeks.
I don't. I gave it to.
Well, whatever. All right. So Friday. So it ended Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
There were some other bids on the township website that ended Friday as well, besides that one.
Yeah,
so one bid came in.
Yep.
We don't know the details yet.
I haven't been. I think it's a sealed bid. So as soon as 2D.
Okay.
I don't know how. Al said it probably wouldn't be tonight's meeting.
see. Okay.
Next is the trade fair review. You kind of headed that up. Do you want to talk about the trade fair?
Trade fair was a good event. There were noticeably a few less people and a few less booths that were there this year, but it's still a good event. Some good feedback. We had some people that dropped a few things in the suggestion box and things we've heard before, and other things that are not currently feasible at the moment. But all around, it was a good time meeting people and seeing people that we haven't seen before, as well as introducing ourselves. That, especially Matt and I, since we are new on the board as well. Just looking forward to have a good summer and a good year ahead.
I'd say the shirts that you had us made would look really nice. And
Yes, the shirts did look really good. We are looking very professional now. So we will definitely be going to the parks this summer as we're inspecting the grounds and wearing those with pride.
There's a lot of people that I saw come by. It was a lot of feedback, so it was nice. I was glad we were all able to make it at one point, except for Kyle.
Yeah.
Next, Cars Fence Grove Pavilion course projects. I'll put that under the parks area because there's a few things that Al wanted me to update everyone with for as far as the general park things. Next, fireworks discussion, food trucks, location, start planning. I did get a text message or phone call from someone. That's okay. Regarding food trucks, it was Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
So they are interested in coming. I just need to get them information of what to do. So I talked to Andrew, and I guess there's a form they need to come to the township and fill out. And I think there's a fee to pay.
In the past, yeah, we did like $100 and there was a form or whatever. I mean, I think I don't know. I think it could just as easily be $2,000 and they could pay, because, I mean, it's a big event with lots of people. I don't know. I sort of was just something we created with the food trucks a couple of years ago just to try to amplify.
Get some of the revenue back.
Something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's $100. I don't know if that's even worth
Right.
any of it. I don't know.
I would.
But,
yeah, it'd be more important to have multiple food trucks and make it a more desirable thing.
yeah, I mean, I think creating a real thing in a center and then creating like 3 parking spaces and selling them or bidding them out would be a better way to do it, rather than just like anybody who wants to come can pay the $100 and fill out the form and find a place to park. This just sent, I mean, who's going to be in charge of this event, and all the things that come with it. I mean, these are the time constraints and human resource constraints that we have. I mean,
did we have a specific location last year, or they just let them do it wherever? Because I knew they had them right in front of the football field last year.
I don't know that we've ever actually specified with them where they should go, or if it was just sort of they stake it out. There must have been, though. It must have been like Chris or Chaz or somebody identified the spot that food trucks need to be.
Yeah. I think where they were last year was a good spot for them. They were kind of out of the way, but yet easily from both the high school and the elementary or the middle school.
Well,
I have a question, though. That $100 fee, that money, does that come back to the park board fund, or that basically helps?
no
Parks
money
expense.
ever received ever goes to the park board unless the township determines that to be the case.
Okay.
Because we are
No revenue from the shelters, from food trucks, ever is designated to the park board. The park board gets its budget allocated through a separate, decision-making process, and then any revenue that comes in just goes straight to the township. And if the township chooses to change the park board budget in subsequent years based on their knowledge of revenue from previous years, then they will choose to do that. I'm 99% sure that that's correct.
I think you are correct.
I think I'm correct, right? I mean, I don't, yeah.
All right.
Because all of our money comes from the general fund, basically,
Correct.
from the township board that elects.
Yeah, we spent a lot of years trying to hash it all out, but I think we're definitely to the bottom of that fact, at least.
Unless you have your own department, like a village type thing, then that money would come to the parks, but we don't have any department
Right.
like that.
And then the other question too, is there a limit on how many food trucks we're able to have?
Not unless we create a limit.
See how many food trucks we got. I know a handful that I could try to say something to or invite.
I would love to see at least 3, because the lines got pretty long in last year.
I mean, 5 or at least would be good. I mean, for example, another good one in the area that's pretty popular. Usually they're at the Touch a Truck event at the high school, but Holy Jesus. I'm friends with the guy who owns that food truck. I went to high school with him. I've reached out to him before and said, hey, do you want to come do the fireworks? And he said he'd be interested in doing it. So I could let him know, and if there's a thing they used to fill out Township Hall here, I can tell him to do that. So
I'll reach out to Andrew. Mentioned that there's a form. I'll just
yeah,
check on what exactly needs to be done.
if someone can email me the form, that'd be fine, and then I can.
I don't have it. I don't know.
Send that out.
Maybe it's at the treasurer's office,
It
or
might
the clerk's
be.
office.
I'm sure the clerk's office has it.
So hopefully we get some more food trucks in. If you want to reach out to your people, we could check out with Forest View as well.
Yeah.
They have a food truck. It's nice that they're local.
Yeah. There's a few local ones in here in Bedford.
I think Forest View was at the trade fair as well.
Yeah, they were there.
And then there was one other one. I don't remember the name of it though.
Loaded Gastro was there. Another good one that it's here in town. I know one of the people that runs it, but sometimes they'll pop up over at Pavlov's, Sammy's Barbecue. They got some really good burgers that they put together. Really good
Isn't there
burgers.
like a Slamwich too place or
Something like that, maybe.
maybe it's the same
Saucy
place.
Slamwich, I think,
Oh,
is
maybe
what
that's
I've heard.
it was, yeah.
I think it's another one too. I've heard. Yeah,
We should go to Pavlov's. They're the ones that seem to have all the food trucks every week there.
yeah. Sammy's is good, and I can definitely testify that.
So who's going to get the form?
I'll check with Andrew.
Or who's
I
gonna
think we
try to
already.
obtain
I think.
the form?
I think the form's already there. I think we just
Right.
got to figure out how to get access and know where to tell the people to go get it.
No food trucks have signed the form yet, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
I think once we obtain the form at our next meeting, we should look at it and consider changing the fee. Because I think it is $100, and I think at $100, it's not even worth.
Andrew mentioned 200. I don't know if that's official or if that's just what.
Well, no, I mean whatever's on there, but I mean it definitely at $100, it's sort of like, is it even worth our time, energy, and everything else, and the risk and whatever to even deal with this?
The other thing too is I haven't seen this form before, so like as far as like seeing all the terms and agreements that are on there, I think it's something we should all review together.
Yeah.
And if there's any changes that we need to make, we should make those changes before we start giving it out to people to say, hey, sign up for this.
I would trust the form is good because I think they all go through the lawyer. I just want to change the fee because it's like,
Has this
it
form
seems
been
like a
used
cash
last year?
cow, and that they would pay, like a lot more than 100 or 200 if,
Has this form been used previously?
Yeah, last 2 years.
Okay.
Last 2 years, maybe 3. I think 2. Pretty sure. So,
We'll
I
just
just
see a copy of it.
So, okay, you're on it, huh? Or one of you, Matt, you're for it.
I have Thursday off, so I'll be coming into the township to do some
Right
stuff.
on.
Any other things with the fireworks?
Yeah, a few things. So location, I mean, it's still gonna be at the high school, right? As far as pretty much the same that's been the last few years, besides the construction they had before. So, the other thing too, I was talking to Al a little while back, and he was giving me a few ideas of things we should try to at least start this year, because next year is the 250th anniversary of our country, and next year we need to really do something big. But this year we need to start small and try and get the groundwork laid a little bit. There were a few ideas he popped in my head, which I followed up on them a little bit. I reached out to the band director from the high school to see if they wanted to play some patriotic tunes, including the national anthem, before the fireworks potentially. He emailed me back and said that June is like their off time, and then they don't start rehearsing until July. But he mentioned that I could possibly reach out to the orchestra or the choir if they wanted to potentially do something as far as like any like entertainment or any like music they want to present before the fireworks start.
We could look at. There's quite a few good local artists in the area that play music. Maybe they.
And yeah, that too.
As far as like a get their name out there. Just, they wouldn't charge us anything, maybe just to get more publicity for themselves.
Yeah, because he mentioned that too. We could start with a local band or two, and then we could have capped it off with the marching band before the fireworks, like with the national anthem or something. So
I have no doubt we could make a huge, significant, incredible event that could raise lots of revenue and other things. However,
It's a lot of planning.
yes, do we want to like start a committee and, have others in the public invited to share in
That's actually a good idea.
fireworks committee with one of you or two of you or one or two of us? Or
Right.
whatever? I mean, it's,
to be honest, if we're gonna next year being the 250th anniversary of the country, I mean, how old? I mean, you probably were both. You were probably around back in 1976, correct? No.
I was not alive.
Okay, never mind. Well, 1976 was the bicentennial, and that was really big for the whole entire country. Like lots of towns celebrated massively. Just think about how we can do that again here, but next year for 250
I think
years.
the idea of see if we could get any public interest in starting because a lot of people have.
I honestly wonder why this event is even a parks event. Like, it doesn't happen in our parks. It's a township and school event that the money is funneled through us so that nobody argues, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, why is a third of our annual budget for a fireworks display when it's all just money out of the general fund and it's not held on park property? Some people do go to a park and park their cars and watch it, although most of the people go to the non-park anyway, right? I mean, it's bigger at Indian Creek than it is at White Park.
Last year, I think it was last year, the year before, they had a lot of festivities at White Park. Like I think
It was 3B.
Is that what
3B made a thing out of it. Certainly, like 3B
Yeah, they got their own.
capitalized
Yeah.
on this and made something happen. And
Yeah, it was. The kids
I would
loved it.
say
Varsity
honestly,
is pretty busy too, especially with the volleyball outside.
yeah. I mean, maybe
Rich
like
has a liquor
engaging
license.
3B to like create a committee that starts with someone from 3B, one of us, and others. Could be a good idea. I don't know. I mean, I continue to think we could hold events and raise millions of dollars, as
Yeah.
Parks and Recreation, but who's going to do it is always the issue, because it would be a lot of work and liaisoning. Any other updates with the band's not available? What else did you have?
Well, he said the march band's not available. He said I could reach out, and he gave me the names and the emails. Like I would ask you guys first, but he mentioned the orchestra and the choir. So if you want to get something from the school, possibly if they wanted to play something or
Yeah,
sing the national anthem or some other patriotic songs.
I would think the band, but I wouldn't. I mean,
Right.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, these are not groups affiliated with us, and they're not going to be on park property. So it's like everyone's encouraged to, make something of it. I don't know. I don't know how we'd even interact or, engage them on that, but whatever you want to try.
I'll throw some
Great event.
feelers out for the local bands, see if they want
Yeah.
to come out and play. If there's a young person that would like to sing the national anthem, that would.
I could reach out to whoever the choir director is that he mentioned and see if the choir wants to at least have the opportunity to do that first. And if not, then go with somebody else. But yeah.
But that would then require somebody from the high school accessing sound systems and stuff.
I think they already have someone doing.
They do that.
I
on
hear
our
it
Now
now.
school already opens up the stadium and does all that. The other thing too is another food option that Al mentioned it to me as well. Not just having the food trucks there, but seeing if the band boosters want to have the concession stand open, because concessions there are pretty cheap, and you got family with like 5 kids or so.
Yeah.
Food truck will get pretty expensive for them. So if they don't want to spend a whole lot, and they just want to get some simple pretzels and hot dogs, I mean, having the concession stand would be a good idea.
That would be a good idea.
So
I think we should do this concession stand and not allow food trucks. Yeah, I mean,
have the options for everybody, and then, you know,
I don't know. I'm more, let's try to garner revenue for the town and the people in the town, and not a bunch of food trucks from out of town that we're basically letting come in for free. That's what I'm thinking. Is like, yeah, do the concession stand. That's a great idea.
I just think, I'm not sure that would be overwhelming for a concession stand to have multiple options might be.
Yeah.
Because
they'll get
there's
slammed.
thousands of people.
Yeah.
They're good fireworks.
The concession stand would be more of a budget-friendly option,
Yeah, I hear
per
you.
se.
We can look into it. They might not even be interested, but if we can.
I think the deal we give these food trucks is like insane.
I have no idea how much money they make, and
Thousands, I would expect. I mean, multiple thousands. Right? It's just a nonstop line that never stops for hours and hours at every food truck.
well, I think last year there was only 2.
It depends on the event or what. I mean, people aren't going to be running out the food trucks while the fireworks are going on because they want to watch the fireworks, but they're going to be grabbing all the stuff beforehand.
We had these like light up people showed up last time too,
Yeah.
and they didn't pay anything. They just showed up and started selling people stuff. So I mean,
It'd be one thing to see if there's any any live entertainment we want to bring in, but make it patriotic themed or something. I mean, nothing too crazy that's going to cause damage or nothing, but besides bands, if there's, I don't know, people that want to do stunts or something, I don't know. It just depends. Whatever.
probably be a whole talent show and a band jam. I mean, it
Could
could
do something like that, yeah. Just
I think without a committee, there's no foundation to do any of these things or to pursue any of these ideas.
and you're right. I think it's long overdue that we have an events committee that works in conjunction with
Right.
the park board.
Right, like an events committee that can really, be sure that the T's are crossed and I's dotted on these.
And
things.
these should be, and people on this committee should be people that have connections that can make stuff happen. People in the community that we know have
Yeah,
had
just
success
any-
in the past, that can really deliver for us.
People committed
And the
to
community.
putting the time in that have the time available.
Right.
I mean, whatever their connections are, I don't know, but I just don't know that exists.
If there's anybody out there,
I don't know that
contact-
exists because if it existed, we might have had it already. And I mean, I'm pretty tapped out. If certainly one of you guys, took the lead on it, I would, try my best to participate as best I could, as always. But unless somebody on our park board can take the lead and shepherd it, it sounds just like just let it be a free for all like it's been. And maybe we'll get $100 from a couple food trucks. I don't know. But yes, I mean, this is events.
We have to start somewhere, so we attempt to do as much as we can this year, and whatever we fall short on this year, we try to make the 250th anniversary that much better. We'll just do what we can.
Right
I'm
on.
gonna talk to Al this week and make a few of their phone calls. See what we can get. Hopefully, we can bring something to the table for the next meeting.
All right. Anything else for fireworks?
Not at this time. I think we pretty much hashed all that out.
We just started the hashing.
Yeah,
All right,
Scratching the
so-
surface.
Next will be the park updates. Just pull this up because make sure it's each individual thing that was sent to me. So for ANSA, there's nothing really new as far as that. We still would like the parking lot to be bigger, but that's maybe a future project. But anything Samaria, that was Andrew. He didn't send me any
Samaria.
specific first. I'm sorry, you're Samaria.
Yeah. Nothing too much. Besides, I did send Pat an email about some maintenance things, so hopefully I hear back from him soon as far as what's going on there, as far as the trail and a few other things there too in the ball field. Do we also want to, as I mentioned earlier, the coach from the baseball team that utilizes that field, his baseball program.
He just wants to have pictures inside of the pavilion.
In
or
the hall.
community center.
Yeah, he just wants to be able to do team pictures. It shouldn't take long. just be like during practice, and then that'd be it. I talked to Chris about it because he wanted to see if someone could like let him in or this or that, and I'm like, should ask first. So I did talk to Chris about it last week. Krista.
Krista.
Krista Janisek, yes. She said that we as a board would have to approve it first if he doesn't want to, if we're going to like basically waive that $350 rental charge, we'd have to approve saying, yes, he can come in on whichever day that we arrange with him, day and time that if he wants to do this.
Do you know, or
what?
was it a weekday that he wanted?
I'm not sure what day he wants. I don't think he specified which day yet.
I know weekends get pretty busy in the summer as far as rented out.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
think most
sure
Saturdays
of any.
are already rented.
I'm not sure if it's been rented. I mean, I know it gets rented way less than car.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm assuming in practices during the week, I'm assuming it's going to be a weeknight evening. We can always check the thing to see when the rentals are. I'm sure they're all going to be the weekends anyway. So, as long as it's not conflicting, and then we agree together on a day and time, he can, beforehand, he can just follow the same procedure. He has to come in, have his license scanned, and then issue the key, goes, does the pictures, and then afterwards he would have to return the key, and, same procedure as everybody else that would rent the hall.
I think as long as it was on a weekday and not taking up the prime weekend slots, I would be okay with it myself.
I'm assuming it's going to be during a weekday because it would be during practice, and I mean, that's typically when they have their
I think they should just use the gazebo. I think we got enough going on with the halls and getting them cleaned and everything else, and sets a bad precedent.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, if we wanted to like call you and you or me meets him over there, and then we clean up or something.
Yeah, he communicated with Andrew and I in email. I don't have a problem being over there for him either. I even told him, like, if you need me there, I can be there as well. So
I wouldn't want to spend the cleaning fee to clean it afterwards, so it definitely have to be.
And I mean, and how
I don't have a problem being there just to make sure, from beginning to end, and make sure there's nothing going on that shouldn't be going on, make sure things are cleaned up, So that way everything's good. If there's anything else, I can take care of it there before leaving the premises.
I think that's the way to do it. And making it a formal motion with the whole waiving of things and all that seems like a can of worms that is not one that I want a motion for. You're welcome to motion.
I'm wondering if we can just take it off of, like, if it say it's a Tuesday, just take it off of that being able to be rented so it's not conflicting, and then do like what you said where you would let them in and make sure it's cleaned up and then let them out.
Yeah, but he would have to get a key still.
If you were there the whole time, you would.
Yeah.
Or we don't take it off, let it maybe be rented, and then that evening,
if it
isn't rented, they should plan to use the gazebo. And that evening, if it isn't rented, and he communicates with you, and you're able to go help him for a little bit, just do it that way.
That's not a bad idea.
But, I'd say, they should just plan for the gazebo, in my opinion. And
Or just along the ball field fence, or
right,
like the woods or something.
I do not want to make a motion for that or anything. I think they should just use the regular thing, communicate with you like they have. Call me, I can let them in. I'll clean up if it works out that night. But then again, like whatever, I don't know. We don't even know.
Check with him and see if that works out for him, and if he would like us to make a more formal thing, we can. When the next meeting we have, we can pursue it more.
If what works out for him specifically.
If what we're offering doesn't work out for him as far as using it as a backup, like using the gazebo. But
official answer, no.
Right, gazebo or
maybe he'll get lucky
on the fence or something. Yeah. All right.
But if the pavilion is open that day, or the center is open, and no one else has rented it, and we can come over there and let them in and out, then I'm willing. If I'm not at work, I would be more than happy to let them in and out too.
Okay.
So.
And clean up.
Yeah. I like cleaning.
I don't mind cleaning up after, as long as it stays a cleaning bill and they just get their team pictures and it's over with. So.
Right.
Get it done in one evening, done. So.
All right, so we won't make any motions tonight about that, but we'll definitely have you reach out to him about see if that works out for him and go from there.
That's fine.
As far as other Samaria stuff, Al said that Pat is looking to clear the path at Samaria Park, so
Sweet.
that is on his agenda. And he's also looking at replacing the fascia board at Samaria
For the pavilion.
for the pavilion.
Yes.
At least they're going to be looking at it. I don't.
His line's done paying for that, though.
Right now, they're just looking at it, see what needs. I think the maintenance and Pat are going to be. They might do themselves. I don't know.
Okay.
This is just their. This is on their agenda of things to do with Pat.
It doesn't even look like a hard job. It's taking the old off and putting new up and then painting it. And that's about it. I also mentioned to him as well, as far as like the foundation concrete floor there's some cracks in there. So as far as like sealing them would be a good idea. And then potentially, maybe in the future, if we want to do an epoxy surface on it, we could to protect it. So just something else to consider in the future.
All right. Anything else with Samaria?
That'd be about it.
All right. Next is White Park, which is Andrew. So he didn't give me any updates as far as that goes, but I did. Al was telling me that the bids for the drinking fountains, we did not get any bids, but Advanced Plumbing is still interested and looking at the job. So they're going to meet with Dennis Kohler when he gets back and see if there's any other options that exist. The problem is the fountains have to be tied into the sewers by code now. So it's not a couple $100 install now. It's now thousands of dollars to install because of the new building requirements. That's all I have for Samaria or White Park. Parmalee Park.
I still think dog park and the old skate park could work, but just reiterating my advocacy for pursuing that. But whatever. I guess we probably have to churn up the concrete or the asphalt, rip it up, and have it disposed of. But dog park is a really big thing that people want.
I think the biggest thing with that will be convincing the board of trustees to pursue.
In terms of expenditure?
Yeah, because it's going to be more than $1,500 to do that.
Yeah, but I don't think it'd be that much more, right? I mean,
Right.
it'd probably be like less than 5 figures. It'd probably be 4 figures.
Yeah, I
Right.
would say so.
Like between 5, it would probably be between 5 and 10 grand, and could provide asset, which is our number one requested thing, right? I mean, I'd say dog park is the number one thing we hear from a trade fair. I mean, that was,
I had two people talk about the dog park.
yeah. I mean, in our old survey, I remember dog park was a big response in the survey and everything. I mean, I personally, like, whatever. I don't think a dog park's all that great or needed. I'm just trying to, to the extent that public feedback seems like it has been really wanting a dog park. I still think it could go there, but whatever.
I know it would be huge in a city. I just don't know, since most people have
Yards and stuff, right? That's why, like, does our town really need a dog park? I don't know, but people ask for it. I guess there are, different living situations. Not
Right.
everybody with single-family homes here in Bedford, so I don't know. I mean, continue looking for a place for a dog park because it seems like our number one requested thing, and that we could put it there for less than 5 figures. But I'll just keep saying that. Maybe eventually something will happen. Whatever. That's all. Everything else looks good at Parmalee.
Sounds good. Next we'll do Carsgrove. Pickleball courts are hopefully being put up for bid on Wednesday the 26th this week. They had to do one more modification because something was on there that had nothing to do with pickleball. It was cornhole. So
How'd that get on there?
we have no idea. It was, I think it was part of the original specs, but there was going to be concrete cornhole boards built and installed.
And so they removed that off?
That's supposed to be removed, and then it's just going to be just the pickleball courts and nothing dirtying up that whole thing.
Interesting. Okay.
Al said he does have several companies interested in bidding, and I've sent out a feeler to a pickleball group that I'm a part of and said if anyone knows anybody that does pickleball construction, and so I got a couple names there. So hopefully we'll get some good bids out there and get this going soon. They're going to extend the deadline to November as far as completion to try to entice some people for later season building. The pavilion at the car park, I'm working on getting someone to give me some of their professional opinions on what would it take to repair it, and then Pat is going to check in and see what the engineers for the Lions Den had it originally quoted. I don't know, was it 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, and see what it would take to get that going. We were talking about doing some leveling of the concrete as opposed to replacing it, because it's I think it could be repaired as opposed to completely tearing it out, which would save $100,000.
There is a company here in town. It was in the Bedford Press a while back. I could try and find it.
The self-leveling people.
Yeah, where they lift
Not
it.
self-leveling, but
Yeah,
yeah. There's quite a few of them around.
yeah.
The fence quotes Pat was working on is going to the Township Trustee Board meeting on April 15th. So if that gets approved from then, we'll get that fence across the front of the car park going.
And was
Quotes
that
just for maintenance to get the stuff and do the job themselves, right? I guess like material. Quotes. It's not quotes for like.
I don't know. They didn't specify if it was just doing it themselves. We're talking about the black decorative fence in the front.
is that a bid, or is that supposed to be for bid, or no?
They didn't
My guess is maintenance is probably doing it, and they're probably
get the materials.
getting the materials.
Same material they had before, and just
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're
Everything.
obtaining it, and they'll put it in as they wish, but they're probably just needing to get the funds from the township board
Right.
to do that. I
Yeah,
guess.
it's over
out of
$50.
our fund or the township fund.
We don't have a fund.
Well, is it
All
coming
fund-
out? Is it coming out of our budget or separate?
Our budget is the township money.
Right.
So it would come out of the general fund of the township.
Is it coming out of this 101,751 or 101 something else?
It comes out of the general fund from the township. All the monies that we would do would come out of that money.
Right.
At least that's what we understand. The gazebo was looked at Car Park. At least one of the contractors they had looked at it thought it should be torn down. I have to look at it again, but I didn't think it was that bad. Just the rails that go around it were all kicked out by somebody at some point, which is probably why we should get cameras at some point. Which I did look into the cameras. They actually sell them at Cabela's, which I didn't know. It's called Tacticam. It's a cell phone-based camera system that you pay a yearly fee of. I think it's right around $120 a year. And if I'm not mistaken, you can put multiple cameras on one account. So it's still the 105 no matter how many cameras you have. And it gives you cloud storage for that, and it holds your stuff. I think it's 6 months or something like that.
But you probably need Wi-Fi or an internet connection.
Cell phone. And they all have, I think it's
So the camera has a cell, is operated by cell technology?
and then the power is solar. So the cameras themselves are like $120 each, and then I think the solar panel is like another, I think it was less than 100 or something like that for the.
But you're saying there's a security camera for $100 and something that does not require any ground, Wi-Fi or anything like that.
Correct.
What's it called again?
Tacticam. They sell them at Cabela's. They're designed for people who have like off-grid hunting places and they want to keep an eye on their place. And
I mean, I might get one and put it at Parmalee just because I want to.
right. So
$120 a year?
I believe it's 120 for the cloud membership, and the camera itself is I think right around 120 as well.
That's incredible.
I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a fake.
Because when we looked
And-
into this, it was going to be like $4,000 or $5,000.
That's what it was coming up most of my searches.
All right, I'll look into this too. Yeah, that sounds incredible.
But then I was at Cabela's the other day and I ran into them like, look, they sell them right here in the end cap.
Wow. All right.
It's
Sweet.
TACTCDM, I think.
Tacticam.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was looking at for Car Park. don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I talked to the Drain Commission, and we are allowed to build a stone path over top of the easement that they have. They said you don't want to do anything more in stone because you never know when it might be, but if they ever have to do maintenance, they can dig up your walkway. So they said there's nothing we have to do special about it. We can just put the stone path right over it. So if we want to do a walking trail around Car Park like was originally in the master plan or lots of people's requests, it is something we could have maintenance potentially spread the stone and do. I haven't talked with Pat about that, but definitely be something we could look into. And I don't know if there's a minimum feet requirement for railroad right away, but there's a pretty wide section of vegetation between the railroad tracks and the ball diamond, and at least in right field, so you could kind of go around and into there, so you're not like intruding into the ball field. At least for about half of it. The rest, it's getting kind of close to the railroad track. But just another idea, lots of ideas. Hopefully we can capitalize on some of these.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all for Carr right now. Wheeler, that's also, is that yours now, or is that?
No, it's Andrew's, but I've been by there a few times. So we don't have a garbage can there. Anybody know?
Have a garbage can there? We did
No,
before.
They've had a barrel there, right there at the entrance there.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, there was one.
Was it? Do we know why it's? So definitely, there's somebody drinking.
Grew a pair of legs.
You think so? Maybe that. You think somebody
Could have. I mean,
I didn't
someone
think
wants
of
to
that.
use it, or it's
Yeah,
metal, so it could have
maybe
been
it was
scrapped.
Scrap metal, yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
think somebody could.
or someone could use it.
Someone has a new burn barrel.
Well, somebody's
Yeah.
somebody's definitely drinking 224 ounces of Busch Light and leaving them routinely because I've cleaned up the cans 3 different times in the last 7 days. And so that's the thing, that somebody goes and parks there and drinks 224 ounces of Busch Light and then throws them on the ground.
Well,
So
man,
if that individual would cease, that would be great. Or we should probably get another garbage can.
We should have one there because we were talking about when we went out there was a stroller in it.
yeah, and a
in the
book
garbage
bag.
can.
And white bags of garbage, like household
It was
garbage.
right by the fence? Or like right by the porta
Yeah, where it's
potty,
supposed
or
to
by
be.
the-
Well, like where the signage stuff is, we're like at the corner of the lot, right where the walking path
Definitely not
starts.
there. I wonder if I could.
It was pretty
Do we
obvious.
have any extras anywhere?
Maine's has extras because they have a lot that they store for the wintertime, and then once it's ball season, all the parks are like, open season, then they bring a lot more barrels out, like up to like 70 some barrels or something.
And they're probably in that building at Car Park,
Probably,
theoretically.
yeah,
I can take a look.
somewhere.
I might. Does our regular key open that building?
Yeah.
Like
the master key.
The master key can get us in there.
Believe
I
so.
might go in and just grab one or two. Then, if they're in there, I mean, I can throw it in my car. And
I don't remember seeing them, but I didn't look that closely in there.
Check with Pat first, just to be safe, and let him know that what's going on over there at least, and let him know that
I may also
didn't
just
go missing.
If they're not in there, I may grab one from Parmalee or something. Like there's a bunch by the pavilion at Parmalee. Maybe I'll grab one of those and just
That's what I was thinking. We could
wheel it over.
borrow one
ship
from
it.
another place.
But yeah, at least
We need one though, really bad. Cause
right.
it's,
But communicate with Pat first, for sure, so he's in the loop on it. And then, honestly, Matt, I mean, it looks like you already got a location to have the pilot program for your new cameras there.
well, I don't know.
I probably wouldn't put one at Wheeler per se.
I mean, if we get,
I mean,
if
it's a
those are
great-
for real,
that's
we'll
a
put
great
them everywhere.
testing.
Yeah.
Those are
area.
the price. I mean, we put them at every park. But yeah, there is no garbage can, and the beer cans are a thing.
They're about
So-
$15 on Concierge Road too.
Well, yeah, I know, right?
I almost stopped and got one myself.
Okay, so I'll just move a trash can. I mean, there was one there before. You're right. It probably got snagged. I'll move one. If a second one gets snagged,
Then we'll
we
lock
know
it.
We have someone in the area.
Needed to chain it
looking
or
for scrap
something.
metal. Yeah, we'd have to lock it down. But okay, trash can at Wheeler. That's all. Yeah. That's all for Wheeler, at least.
All right. I'm just making sure there's nothing else that was. Pat and his crew usually do spruce up the ball fields, and the clubs that rent them also do a bunch with that too. He just want to let us know that that will be done as normal. I think that's all for the parks. does say something about a reassignment motion for Wheeler Preserve.
Oh, I
Did we
talked to Andrew. Yeah, he forgot to take that off from the last time.
not? Okay. I thought we already
Yeah,
did.
Wheeler is already good there.
Yeah,
Yep.
we motioned.
Okay.
That was
Making sure, 'cause
the previous meeting. We took care of that.
all right. Any other things with parks? If that's the case, we'll move on to comments from the public. Anybody? All right. Nothing from the public. Commissioners' comments. Aaron?
Nothing.
Josh?
Looking at putting together an events committee pretty soon. Want to talk to Al this week about doing that and reaching out to some other key people that could really be a big help for that.
Definitely. I like that idea. All right. I have nothing
I
else.
think including community ed and letting them make as much money as they possibly can is the way to, put that into hyperdrive.
Yeah.
Like here, community ed, here, do events, make all the money, have a good time, give the township whatever you want.
The community ed's making more money. Do we still have to pay them $25,000 a year?
Well, she has not come and
can-
asked for it. She was.
Then if that's
That's
what
sort
we
of
have,
like-
then we're really going to be justifying that.
Well, that's maybe what could justify it. That's what I was.
Justify not paying.
Not paying, correct.
Yeah,
Not
that'd be nice.
25,000, create a special relationship where they can, commandeer the event process for their own, benefit and the benefit of the township, because the township isn't getting this benefit because there's no one to tackle being in charge of it. So I think community ed's a great candidate to, just be given our events, rights or whatever, but.
Or they could do events and make money
Right. Yep.
and become self-sustaining. So,
All right. I have no other comments. If nothing else, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Unopposed. Meeting adjourned. Our next meeting will be April 14th.